Yeah, this will be easy.
Yeah, you guys.
That's pretty easy.
And you like Robert?
Yeah. So my name in Italy is Roberto. I don't know if you want to call me
I
Roberto.
will 100%.
Yes.
That's my
if
name
what
in
you want.
Mexico.
Yeah, in Mexico, that's
That's what they call me.
Or in Italy as
Yeah.
well. It can be the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
We don't
awesome.
have Robert. I changed. No, it's not like I changed it, but everybody calls me Robert here because it's easy. Otherwise, it's like Umberto,
Yep.
Alberto, and so I say Robert, and that's it.
All right, now, Roberto, you are from Ghost Holsters.
Yes, I'm the CEO of the company,
Okay.
the American branch and the Italian branch, with my brother as well.
Wonderful.
So, yes, it's a family company.
Awesome.
Yes, my dad started like 1992, 1990.
All right.
Yeah, we started.
Now, started in Italy.
Yes, everything
All right.
started in Italy. So we came here. We opened this branch like 6 years ago,
All right.
and since then it was nice.
Now,
It's a
you
nice
guys
adventure.
opened local here in Sunrise.
Yes, no, actually, before we were in Hollywood.
Okay.
Yes, in
Yeah.
South Florida. So
Yeah.
we stick to South Florida for these 6 years,
Nice.
and now we're here like almost 1 year here in Sunrise.
Oh, great.
Yes,
Great.
We love this area.
What brought you to South Florida?
Well, good question. So initially, when I wanted to open the company, the branch here in US, just to to be able to perform better in this country, which is the biggest market in the world,
Right, for firearms.
for firearms and our industry. Before I used to have a distributor, and then I said, okay, I can have a distributor in US, but I'm not gonna fulfill all the needs, because I don't know the market too much, and then it's not the same, the customer service and everything like that. So I said, I'm gonna open it. And then I went to Texas originally
All right.
in Austin
Makes
because
sense.
my friend is from there. He said, no, come here, I'm gonna help you out, and we do all this. And I, to go to Texas from Italy, send the stuff because everything is made still there in my company there. So, and it was, more difficult than South Florida because then I went to Texas and I came here as well. I went to Pompano actually the very first time, and I said, okay, Texas is cool. I like it there because the law is pretty much the same for guns, for the companies,
Yeah.
And then it was just a logistic decision because here we have 6 hour jet lag
Yep.
comparing Europe. And we had at that time straight flight from Miami to Milan. So the, freight and everything was, more
Much smoother.
convenient,
Yeah.
much smoother. So that's why I came here. And then, of course, I pick Miami and Fort Lauderdale because it's, I
It's
said
the
if
spot.
I have to live somewhere, I don't want to live, in the middle of nowhere. I rather, I was 37, so I said, I'm going to live in Miami.
Not a bad
And
place to get
single.
stopped.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yes. So since then it was great. I mean, it's a nice place to stay. I had a lot of opportunities here. I met a lot of nice people.
Yeah.
So it was great.
So, coming from Italy, from firearms from Italy, what's the main difference that you see from firearms in the States compared to firearms in Italy?
It's a huge difference. Yeah, because here, like the law allowed people to pretty much buy what they want. Like you don't have limitation on number of guns. You can go with your ID actually if you're a permanent resident or a citizen and buy the gun. The ammo, they're not controlled. Like, so there is more market here because
like
it's not
here-
so regulated.
Like here, you don't. There's no limit on it. Rob, how many guns do you own?
I don't wish to disclose that at this time.
That's a great. How many guns does your wife think you own?
Less than that.
Good. Good. So over there, we were talking a little bit earlier about the numbers and the different categories.
Yes.
And how that works out.
So I'm talking about Italy because it's where I live.
Right.
So Italy is one of the country in Europe which the gun is more open.
Yeah.
But it's still limited comparing here, way more. So we can have because every gun has a different categories.
Okay.
We consider like for example sport guns, like standard police guns and hunting. So all the pistols that are considered sports, you can have 10 of them.
Okay.
You can have 5 of the common.
In the sport category, what are some examples
Shadow 2,
Okay.
CC Shadow 2, Staccato, 2011, all these guns that they are supposed to go for the sport.
Okay.
You know, for USPSA or IPSC or, you know, for
Right.
recreational thing, like sport. While for the common gun, we say common gun, like Glock 17, Beretta 92, or, you know, the SIG 226, all these
Yep.
classic guns, they don't have like adjustable sights. They don't have, yes.
The meat and potatoes,
Yeah.
the basics.
Exactly, like the regular. And then the hunting, you can have unlimited guns,
All right.
even if they're 223, caliber 223 or 12 gauge. Or
Now, do they have restrictions on like magazine size or?
yes, they do. Like for example, for hunting, the maximum rounds ammo that you can put in the firearm, whatever it is, if it's 223 or 12 gauge, it's 5 ammo.
5.
No more. So
That's how Florida is. If it's a detachable box mag, it's 5 rounds. If you're waterfowl hunting, shotguns, it's like 2+1 for shotguns and stuff like that. But then you go to a place like Georgia where you could probably hunt with belt fed if you want to. They don't care. There's no laws at all.
Yeah.
You see, so something is similar.
Yeah.
And so this is the limitation on the guns. On the ammo, you can have ammo completed for pistol calibers. So even if it's sportive or common,
Right.
200 maximum
Max.
at home, yes. But if you have, for example, declared 150 and you get a control from the police and you have 149, you can get in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes.
Ow.
So that's
Yeah. So no giving them out as souvenirs.
no,
Like trick or treaters who ran out of candy.
no. You can't. And every time you go to the shooting range, what everybody does is they buy the ammo at the shooting range and they shoot them.
Yeah.
So they don't bring anything at home.
Right. That makes sense.
For hunting, it's unlimited. So you can have any ammo you want, as I said before. So you can, you know, because hunting is more traditional for us. So they want to keep it like.
That makes sense.
Exactly. But then there is another story about hunting that pretty much all the animals or all the birds, because we hunt birds, they are prohibited because they're, you know, like the animalists, people that they, you know,
Oh, like PETA.
People eating tasty animals?
Yeah.
yeah, they say no, there is not enough birds, so you can
Right,
shoot them.
right.
They regulate too much
Yeah.
in a way that you can pretty much
Right.
go hunting anymore
Yeah.
unless you pay and you go like wild boar or for
Yeah,
example.
but at that point, is it really wild?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the story in Italy at least, and we are kind of lucky because in other countries like England and Great Britain, for example, they have 0 guns. Nobody can have a gun.
Really?
They can only have a revolver with 12-inch barrel.
Jesus. Wow. You're in Europe. I mean, from Italy, traveling around Europe with a concealer with a firearm. How regulated is that? Like, if you were going to take a weekend and go,
You cross the border,
Yeah.
let's say, but you stay in European
right?
Union.
But you're staying in European Union.
Okay. Starting from the origin. So before you are able to buy a gun, you need to have a permit.
Okay.
It's like the concealed carry
Yep.
permit before here.
Yeah.
So you had to go through a course of shooting, and you have to pay some taxes, and you have to have a doctor.
Guarantee they're going to have you pay some kind of tax. That's a given.
And you have to go through a visit from a doctor.
Okay.
So you have to go through a process.
Is it more psychological doctor or like physical doctor?
No, actually, the doctor that release your certificate that you're able to have a permit for gun is your family doctor.
Oh,
So the family doctor supposed to know you since you were a kid.
Right.
So they know all that whatever they
right.
prescribe you, or if you have any.
right.
kind
That
of
kid
issue.
used to hit dogs. Maybe he shouldn't.
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So, like they go through the process. So once you get this permit, you're allowed to go and buy a gun, you
Okay.
know. Or, for example, go hunting if you do the hunting permit and stuff like that. But if you want to cross the border and you want to go for a competition, which is the only way, or hunting, you have to have, we say, like a European paper permit.
Okay.
that is attached to your permit, the Italian permit. They're
I got you.
connected. So when you travel and you cross the border, you can travel, but you need to have
Yeah.
that. So you have to go to the police and ask them. You have to go through a process.
Yeah.
You pretty much, if you're a shooter or a hunter, you can get it. Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
And nobody can have a concealed carry permit unless they have a very high reason. For example, they've been, I don't know, or they're super rich, or they transport high value,
Yeah.
or
There's certain
like
states like that
security.
here, up in the Northeast. There's certain areas where, in order to get it in certain cities, like if you deal with a lot of cash or you're a small business owner, then there's paperwork and you get involved in that. In Florida, you take your course, you wait your money, and you wait with your time, and you get it back. When you said you get the permit from the doctor, is there still a wait after that, or can you go in and purchase and leave with it, or is there still a waiting
no,
period?
there's still, yes, because what happens that you do you can do the course with an NRA instructor, for example, or you can be an ex-military. If you're ex-military, you don't need to do that. Then you go to the doctor. So when you collect all the documents, then you go to the police station, and they're gonna do the background check. Once they do the background check, they release you like the
Certificate.
card, yes, like a card. And then when you go to the gun shop, you show the card, and they do everything. Plus that, once you have the gun with you, you go again to the police station, and without the gun,
I was
you
gonna say,
show
you
them
walk
the-
in and
yeah, look, I got the gun. No, it's like you go there with the paper, and they say, okay, you can have the gun, and then you have to keep that paper with the gun all the time. So if it's like,
Oh, but that we have certain things like that, like suppressors and
Class 3 items.
Yeah,
stuff
some
like
Class
that.
3 stuff.
But in the state of Florida, you can buy and sell, non-special firearms, just person to person, no paperwork for cash.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
pretty easy going
Yeah.
about that.
So if you do that, for example, you sell me your gun, so I don't go through a shop. So we have to make a paper that you sold me
Bill
the
of
gun,
sale.
a bill of sales, and I have to go to the police with that, so they can keep track of
What's out there.
what's going on with the gun.
Yeah,
and
because
where-
then if they happen to stop you and you have that gun,
exactly.
right?
Why do you have it?
Exactly. So it's, and you also, the seller has to go to the police, inform them. So,
Yeah.
so now you understand why he
Oh,
is
yeah.
the biggest market in the world. So
Yeah, yeah.
imagine, like,
Yeah, it's so
of
easy.
course, I have to be honest. The quality of clients are different.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Because
I bet.
when you do when you have to go through a process like that, like in Italy.
Oh, weeds a lot of people out.
Yes,
Yeah.
take out a lot of people, but the people that they're really serious, they're really into that.
Yeah.
They're good clients.
Yeah, oh, I bet.
Exactly. Here is more mass, it's like more open, but
Is there a big difference too between price? Like we were talking about, you'd mentioned a Glock 17. A Glock 17 in Italy, is that far more expensive
no.
compared to, or it's just kind of price-wise, everything is still the same?
The European guns are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It's cheaper here because they lower the price because the competition is super high with prices and
Yeah.
stuff. There, like a Glock 17, it's around, let me do like for probably $700.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know how much is here. Probably,
I haven't bought one from a shop in a long time. I couldn't tell you.
probably
Yeah, so-
550, 600.
Mike,
something
what's
like that.
about the going rate on a Glock 17?
Probably 6.
About $600.
Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive, and it's made in Austria.
Right.
So it's not. But if you buy, for example, because I just got a Prodigy
Okay.
for myself.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it. By the
Congrats.
way, with a
Did you
great
get the full size or the 4 1/4?
the full size.
Full size? Yeah.
And I did the ported. I bought the ported
Nice.
one, and I put the optic and all this stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And here I paid new like 1,400, and there the same gun is 3,000.
Yeah.
So I don't
So,
understand.
so getting the American guns over there is where it starts to jump up. So like the Smith & Wesson M&Ps and stuff are probably substantially more over on
Yes.
that side.
Yes.
Because of import and
Yes,
everything.
the import fees and stuff like that, the transport cost, and then also maybe like they want to make
Yeah.
money.
You got to send it across the pond. It's got to be worth it. you know?
Yeah.
Like American gun, and because everybody in Europe is focused on the U.S. market.
Yeah.
So it's like the trend.
Yep.
For us, it's like everything that is American is better
Yeah.
for guns. And then it's funny because a lot of guns that come from Europe, for example, now super popular CZ, super
Right.
popular Glock, super popular, HNK, and it's from Europe. Beretta is
Right, but it's just
Italian.
everybody-
Exactly. So
Yeah, everybody wants everybody else's, you know?
Yeah, so a Beretta 92, that was my, that's what I really wanted. And I got one for my bachelor party. All my guys got me one. But yeah, Italian made, and I was like, oh, that's the one I was like, yeah.
Exactly. No, like you guys look there in Europe, like quality,
Yeah.
design maybe, and
Yeah.
we look here for everything else.
I'm a huge Beretta shotgun guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to shoot a lot of shotguns and stuff, and I got a 1301, I got an A300. I don't think you can do better. I think they're as good as it gets.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, we work a lot with Beretta, so we do a lot of products in OEM for them.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so we do all the sports holsters they have. We do the shot shell holders. We do mag pouches, belts, and we brand them Beretta for them, and then super nice. I mean, they're neighbors for us.
Yeah, right.
So literally neighbors because we are in the valley where all the gun manufacturers are.
Really?
So yes, there is. Benelli is the only one that now it's owned by Beretta as well. So it's the only one that is not in my city, but everybody else is in my city.
That's awesome.
Talking about Perazzi, I'm talking about Franchi. We have Tanfoglio, we have Firearm, we have Fire, we have Beretta, we have Uberti, we have so many.
Got to be a cool town.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a valley, it's
Yeah.
like between two big mountains. And so Beretta started in 15th century, owned by the same family. So not stocks, no, nothing like that. So
Beretta's got a following, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They definitely, they've been around.
yes, so it's like more than 500 years old company owned by the same family. There are only, I think, 5 in the world.
Really?
Yes. So this happened why? Because we have mountains there where we extract iron.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yes. So extracting irons, we are specialists in making guns.
yeah. Yeah.
So the metallurgy's in-house right there too. That's
So we have, for example, big industries for forks and knife,
So,
for the pan, the
Yeah.
the pan and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yes.
so in my head, I'm just trying to picture it, like this quaint valley in between two mountains, this quaint little town. And you go in there and you're thinking Italy and stuff. So you're like, oh, this is probably like a great wine town. And everybody has like a shotgun.
Guns, yeah.
Right, and everyone's just like, hey, what's up? It's like, it's Detroit? Yeah, that's awesome.
So I come from there.
Yeah.
So I'm born in Gardone Valtrompia. So if you open up like a booklet in any Beretta guns, you see Gardone Valtrompia. This is where I'm born.
That's awesome.
I've never opened the owner's manual. I probably should look into it.
Yeah. And they have a museum. They have a big facility there. So everybody is kind of connected. And you can only imagine how many companies work for them.
Right.
Making parts, springs,
Yeah.
screws.
And
It's
they're all,
got to be a huge industry around there.
Exactly.
Probably
So-
employs thousands of people.
Yeah, they have 1,000 of employees there, only in Italy, and then they have a bunch of other companies. But this is how we started. So that's why my dad, he started with guns because
being in that neighborhood.
yes, because my uncle, he was making over and under, and super expensive.
They usually are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was making, like, for example, 8 shotguns per year maximum. But you could go there, like a lot of American clients, they could go there and say, I want this engraving, I want this barrel.
Yeah, it's
I
art.
want-"
You almost don't even want to shoot it at that point. It's
Exactly.
it's a family heirloom that sits in a plexiglass case on the mantle, and
Yep.
yeah, there's a lot of those.
Cool.
Well, not a lot of, but that's definitely a popular thing. You look at some of those over and unders, and they're just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Incredible.
Yeah.
There is another friend of us. His name is Tullio Fabri, and he has a company like doing shotguns. So his cheapest shotgun is 75,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has clients like Spielberg,
Yeah.
like this, super famous.
Goes back to what you said. You have a smaller base, but that base is a good base.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
heavy hitters in there.
Exactly.
That's
So-
awesome. So now getting back to the holsters, when you guys started producing holsters and going after that, all of those companies were right there. Is that kind of where you started with like, hey, You know,
Yeah,
we want
exactly.
to start doing.
So my dad, what he did, so he was working for one of this company. So the name of the company is Tanfoglio. So they were making a lot of guns for sport. So IPSC was picking up. IPSC is like USPSA here.
Yep.
Was picking up a lot. So they were sending my dad to do customer service and gunsmithing on the shooting ranges.
Okay.
So, and then he was going everywhere in the world pretty much where there was these big competitions. And then he starts seeing, looking around and, like the holsters at the time, they were kind of in leather. They were not that cool,
Yeah.
And then he started thinking about the new product, something new. And then he made the device as the Ghost one that we already have.
Yeah.
Like right now, we still have it. And we call it the one because it was the first one made.
One. Yeah.
Exactly. And since then, he started, but because everything is connected, you work with company that makes guns, the neighbor makes guns, and you feel like more,
Part of it.
Exactly,
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of it. And you have more, ideas.
Yeah.
And then he had that idea, and then we started with one, and then, we made a bunch of other products. And right now we have military products, police, concealed carry, sport.
Now, in the States, where's your main focus? Is it the military police or is it?
Yeah, no, here is just sport for the
Sport,
moment.
yeah.
Yes. I'm making now a new product that I hope I'm going to launch in the 2025. That is going to, I hope is going to open up the market for us for the law enforcement, for LEO. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, in Italy, where is that focus? Is that focus
So,
just because of the restrictions
Different
on
culture.
personal? Right.
exactly. So the sport is not big as here. And of course, the civil market is almost zero. So the
Yeah.
concealed carry holsters are almost zero sales there.
Right.
Unless we sell pretty good because we sell to cops that
Okay.
they are undercover. So
Okay.
they don't have uniform.
Yeah.
But our main business there is military and law
Military,
enforcement.
law
Yes, because we have a couple of products that my dad invented like 15 years ago that we are still selling pretty good. And we do a lot of, like Ministry of Defense there, for example, in the Netherlands. We did all the police in Greece. We did, like big
Yeah.
tenders. We won
Yeah.
big tenders over
That's
there
awesome.
also for the army, for local polices. So we've been around since, a little bit. So we
Yeah.
did some good
Yeah.
contracts. And here we are waiting. We are
Yeah.
waiting because we are not ready
Yeah.
for this market. Also because cops here, they have different guns and different equipment and different needs. So
Yeah.
we are waiting to, to launch the good product for here. For example, in Europe, no cops wear gun with the light.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, or unless they are special forces.
Okay.
And that's become kind of a standard here.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I had to. And my holster, my number one bestseller holster for law enforcement, doesn't allow the light.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to change everything.
Yeah.
But I'm almost there. So I'm gonna
Good.
be like.
That's a constant evolution of things now. A lot of law enforcements are they're starting to issue standard issue with dots on top, which was never a thing
Yeah.
Exactly.
because they're so proven now. You got a lot of police departments that are actually going to dot pistols.
Yeah. True. And we don't. And all these accessories.
Yeah.
For us, they're difficult to manage
right.
because
There's too many combinations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Too many combinations about lights. Too many combinations about red dots, guns.
Yeah.
Right and left.
Right.
And they need to have retention level 2, retention level 3, and then we make a system that is rotative. For example, when they sit down in the car, they can rotate the holster.
That's nice.
Modular. We have the modularity. We made it like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, we were one of the probably the first to do it.
Yeah.
And so in Italy, they don't have the money as well. So
Right.
the police, they don't have so much money to spend like $400 in a
Really?
light. No, they don't.
Yeah.
They still have the 92. So since
Yeah, but you're right though. I mean, those accessories add up. Those Surefires, they're 400 something bucks a piece for like a 300, and then you
Yeah.
put a dot, depending on what dot you're running, that's a couple $100 right there. I
Yeah,
mean,
minimum,
your
yeah.
accessories, you got as much or more than the gun.
Right.
exactly.
So, wow.
So that's a thing there. The special forces, of course, they have different budget. They can buy more. They
Right.
have different stories. So they have all these accessories. But the gun is always the secondary for special forces. They have.
Yeah.
Rifle's
Right.
definitely primary.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's.
So what's your what has been your number one seller in the States?
So right now, besides the Mac pouches that I sell them a lot,
Yeah.
it's the Hydra P and
Yeah.
Hydra P Plus. Yes, I made it like 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
for production and carry optic division in USPSA. So I had this kind of idea because I knew that in those two divisions you need a shell holster. So you need a holster that covers the gun half an inch below the ejection port.
Okay.
And I said, okay, so we have that holster because we were making like a shell holster, kind of kydex that you bend. Okay.
Yeah.
So we were making.
I've seen them made at gun shows.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So we don't use kydex for different reasons, but we were making a similar holster to that, with a belt with a hanger that positions.
That's actually what I was going to ask you: is what are your holsters made out of?
Exactly. So, and then we had that holster with a shell, classic. With the two screws
Yep.
that you can adjust. And then we had other holsters that they were like race holsters. So it means that they don't have any friction on the shell, but they have a locking mechanism that you can open and then you can draw super quick, or you can lock it and the gun stays in.
Stays in.
So I said, why cannot make a fusion of those? So I took the sport holster with the locking mechanism and I put a shell on top.
Okay.
And I said, maybe it's gonna work, maybe not.
Yeah.
And it worked actually.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a.
Was it one
holster.
of those things when it did work? You kind of like, huh?
Yeah. No. Everybody was like, but this guy like had a good idea because nobody did that before because nobody probably read the rule book enough to understand that you can do it.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna do it. If they said no, you can't use it, that's okay. It's okay. So I did it, and they approve it, and now it's the best seller here
That's
because
awesome.
it's super quick holster, adjustable, easy to use, fits for not multiple guns, but you can fit different models, and it's super quick.
Yeah.
So there's a
I can
shell.
attest to that actually because I was in a class with an instructor who was running all go stuff and two students in there who had it, and they had both been through multiple classes. One's an instructor, so he puts more rounds down range than all of us put together. And these things went through a beating. I mean, I seen them. We were running, shooting, moving, rolling, and everything performed flawless on three people. And they weren't babying anything. I can tell you that.
No, they actually stress the products pretty good, like the shooters at that level. They draw a lot of times.
yeah.
They don't draw only at the shooting range. They
Right.
do all the dry fire at home.
Yep.
And they throw themselves in the floor and do that and they run, they bend. So it's a big test,
Yeah.
And the holsters are made in polymer.
Polymer. Okay, that's what I was going to ask you because I was kind of checking out the one at the class, and I'm like, this is not quite Kydex. I could tell it was some kind of plastic composite, and I'm like, what is this made out of?
So the body is made.
I mean, you don't have to give away
No secret recipe, just an overview.
No. So the body is made in a polymer that it's lubrificant.
Okay.
When you machine it, you don't need oil.
That's what I was going to ask you too. Is there any maintenance to these? Because some of them you have to.
Nothing.
Wow.
Zero. And the shell, it's made with a composite, and there is carbon fiber in it.
Wow.
Yes. And they're very resistant.
Yeah.
And we're very versatile as well to make them. We don't give option to the clients to customize it, but we could.
Yeah.
But we don't want to do it because otherwise we go
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a whole
right.
nother line
Yeah.
of production that you'll go nuts with.
Exactly.
Right.
There are already enough models and enough.
Right. Find something that fits because our stuff is good enough. I get it.
Exactly. We don't make for every type of guns, but we make for the 7-8 guns most popular in sport. And honestly, since then, people are super happy, and we increase a lot. And now it's the product that we sell the most.
What are those 7 lines that you make for? I know it's Glock, obviously. I know it's Staccato because I've seen those both in firsthand. What are the other ones?
Yeah, I probably said 7, or maybe they're less. So we make CZ, and it fits all the CZ like TS, TS2, Shadow 1, Shadow 2, Tanfoglio as well, the Stock 3. And then we have one, that's one model, right and left. Then we have one for 2011, and it fits all the 2011s besides the Staccato, because Staccato has
It's a little bigger frame.
Yes, the grip, the trigger guard is wider. It's like 1 millimeter or 1 millimeter.
So
and a
all
half
those
wider.
other would be like your Prodigies
Prodigy,
and
MPA.
EAA.
Yes,
Witness.
all the 2011 like normal with a pretty much a regular grip. It fits. Like also you can have it for the SVI, the old STI, or all the 2011. Now I don't remember because there are so many models.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And it's one of the best seller, by the way, on that specific model, together with the Shadow 2, Shadow 1. Then we have for Glock, which is good for Glock 17, 19, 34, and 35. And all the other Glocks that they're not 45 calibers, because the 45 calibers has
bigger,
a different frame.
Yep.
Then we have it for the PDP. That is good for the PDP and the Q5, the Walter, which are very popular right now. We have one for the polymer frame and one for the steel frame because they're different. Then we have one for the Canic.
Those are getting popular now.
Very popular as well. Canic S, Canic Rival Normal, and the TTI, the Talent Tactical Innovation. So we made it also for that one. Then we have one for the 320 series as well, super popular. Then we have one for the 92X, the 92 series.
Beretta guys.
Yeah.
Yes, Beretta. And what else? That's it.
Yeah, I seen them in action. They
It's awesome. It's awesome.
We have a lot of shooters also a high level that they're using our products, even if we don't sponsor all of them. So some of them, they just decided to use it because
They like it.
cool.
Yeah,
Like
right.
they say,
Yeah.
they know me and, I said, Robbie, I like the holster. It's different because when you're used to have like a shell holster and you draw, you feel the tension all the time when you draw the gun, like you have to think about the drawing a lot.
Right.
With that, you feel smooth, because the gun is like when the locking mechanism is open, that's it. It's out.
Ready to go.
You can do, if you have a gun that doesn't have a back too big, like for example, the Glock, you can even do the scoop draw. So the scoop draw means from the bottom to up like this.
Yeah.
And it's super quick.
Yeah.
And cool to see, by the way.
Yeah.
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 And then the mag pouches, which we sell them a lot, because very simple system, not many movements, solid, not expensive.
Yeah.
People happy, colors.
Plus, anybody that's in competition is going to be running a lot of mags on them for competition.
And then we have magnets with wings.
I actually saw that in that class, and it's the first time I noticed that. Maybe you got a half mag or whatever in between, stage that there, and then go to a full mag. And I'm like, what is it? Magnets on there? Yep, put them right on there for your steel mags.
some companies, our competitors, they even do the mag pouches with magnets. Like they make like two
Extra
magnets,
retention?
yes, and then two lips that stays inside. So we don't do that. We have the mag pouch classic with two springs inside for the retention. So when you run, you don't lose the magazine. And then we put in front, we put one or two magnets.
All right.
So that means that when you have a stage, that for example, you start with a gun on the table and the two magazines or three magazines, and you have to start in that condition. So you grab the magazine, you put the magazine away, but putting the magazine away in the pouch is not different. It's not the same as taking the magazine and tack. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the real use for this
That's awesome.
magnet.
So I'm not a competition guy by any means, but looking into a little bit of it, if you can shave fractions of a second, that's a big thing from what I've seen. Like they're looking for any minute way to shave any kind of time.
Yeah.
So it's something that seems so not important as that. That's important.
Yeah.
That's-
Any competition, I mean, you just have that natural.
You're splitting hairs.
Exactly. So we are trying to listen because we are very in contact with shooters.
Yeah.
Like from all over the world.
Yeah.
And we just don't listen to them. We pay attention, like
Yeah.
we say, okay, probably this is what they need.
Yeah,
And
not just lip service. We're actually listening.
Yeah, exactly.
it's great.
Exactly. Like, for example, when you have any problems with the product, we try to modify in order the product is good for the shooters, like for the users. And all the products are made because of that.
Yeah.
Because of the feedback from the
Yeah.
clients.
Yeah.
So that's
That's the best way to get what you need.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's awesome.
And I'm personally a shooter, but I'm not a great shooter or anything. I started in IDPA because I love IDPA.
All right.
And I did some IPSC matches and USPSA as well, and it's fun.
Nice.
But IDPA is my favorite.
Yeah.
And I do also the same holster for IDPA,
Okay.
which is called Hydra D. I'm gonna launch it in 2025.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So the same thing. I read the rule book, and I went around.
Exactly to the
Yeah.
letter.
Yep.
Exactly. So, and then I send it to the coordinator. They say, yes, it's
That's
good.
awesome.
So, and even this one doesn't have the locking mechanism, but it has a ball inside that gives you the retention, but
Okay.
still, it's not like a tension holster,
Right.
but it's still free.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's awesome. And that's coming 2025?
Yes,
That's awesome.
Hydra D.
That's awesome. Hydra D.
Hydra
From
D.
Ghost
Like difference.
Holsters. All right. Well, we look forward to that coming up soon. I know we got plenty more coming up. We're going to take a quick little break, and then we'll be back with you shortly. Thank you.